of value. We were seeing obviously this big consolidation going on between Altera and Vail. We've got past products, and I think there's different schools of thought here in terms of how this is going to affect the industry overall, whether or not this is attractive to millennials. Is this going to grow the sport, i.e. will this bring new participation? And obviously the jury's out, but what are some of your thoughts on that?
Well, for the skier or snowboarder who does ski a fair number of days and likes to ski around at different resorts and likes to get some variety, and maybe their uncle has a condo in Sun Valley, or maybe their neighbor has a house in Jackson Hole, that they can go explore a new resort. I think those products are great for committed core skiers, and it's going to keep them interested and excited because it's going to give them a new option of a resort that they've never been to before. And so it introduces a variety to that core customer. But a big season pass like that is not going to bring new people to the sport. That's really the smaller or more local ski hills that are easier, closer for people to get to, where people can try skiing and snowboarding at a local hill. It's closer. It's less expensive. It's just a way to introduce people to the sport. That's still the stepping stone. But I think the real opportunity for a lot of resorts is the ones that are in that mid-sized group that can sell a season pass that's less expensive than an Epic or an Ikon pass, but still with partnerships and reciprocal offers. You're seeing more and more resorts trying to team up on, well, you can, with my season pass, I can ski 5 days at your resort, and with your season pass, you can ski 5 days at my resort.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing is a really good value because it's not as expensive as an Ikon pass or an Epic pass, but you can still get some good variety out of it. And so for resorts that are in that tier, I think there's a great opportunity to differentiate themselves from the Ikon or Epic pass with good value, but also with a decent amount of variety to keep that mid-tier resort really relevant in this marketplace.
Right. What begins to happen now that at least Vail is starting to enter into that small and entry feeder market, into that world now? What is that, from a competition standpoint, when you've got a feeder resort that is an Epic Pass product, how are those other area, smaller, mid-sized resorts going to compete with that?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's just there's different products for different people. And some customers will value the ability to ski at their local hill and then also go take a trip to a bigger mountain out west. But some skiers are just going to be just as happy staying at their local hill or within their region. And so it's actually a good choice for the consumer who wants a product that's going to give them the choice of a larger Western resort on that same product now has that choice. They didn't used to have that choice. But the consumer who doesn't want that or value that can also still ski at the local ski hills that are in their region, but they don't necessarily want to travel out of region.
It seems to me that like these smaller feeder resorts are going to need to work harder to build relationships when it's kind of you can see the writing on the wall here. It's obviously a big part of Vail's strategy to begin taking ownership downstream or upstream, which depending on how you look at it, and I think the smaller feeder resorts are definitely under threat here, or it's an opportunity to pivot and make some new partnerships, some new friends, and because any of the other resorts that aren't already in the Vail or Altera ownership groups are, they've got a lot in common there, and there's a lot of opportunity and synergies, I think, right there to work together.
Yeah, I mean, I think we in the industry, we tend to sort of talk to ourselves and to our our most frequent guests and to the people who ski the most. And for those people, yeah, why wouldn't you buy an Ikon pass, or why wouldn't you buy an Epic pass? Because you can ski at all these resorts and it only costs X number of dollars. But we forget that there's a huge group of people who ski and snowboard who just aren't candidates for that kind of a product.
Yeah.
And
they're not even aware of it.
Yeah, and so they're the opportunity, but at the same time, the competition is gonna, like you said, put some pressure on maybe some of the smaller mid-sized resorts to improve the experience, and that's actually a good thing, because then the consumer comes and they say, hey, there's a new restaurant here, this lift got upgraded, or they built some more parking spaces, or whatever it is. The investment in improving the experience at every single individual resort is going to just raise the profile and the experience overall of skiing, and it's going to make skiing more fun, and it's going to make trying out a new ski area more fun, because hey, they've got a new trail over at that mountain, let's go check that out. And so it is gonna force the smaller skiers to up their game a little bit, but in the end, that's a good thing.